Hi, I'm the Malt activist, and today we have with us the Benromach Cask Strength Batch 1. Check this out. I remember the first time I had a Cask Strength Benromach. It was the Benromach 100 proof, which was the imperial measurement, which was 57%, if I'm not mistaken. And that whiskey, oh my god, that literally changed my life. It was so good, and like to this day is one of my favorite whiskeys of all time. And I'm so upset that they've discontinued it, and in its place they've replaced it with this Cask Strength series. So what I have with me now is the Batch 1. This is bottled in 2019, distilled in 2008. So it kind of has more or less the same characteristics as the 100 proof. It's 10 years old. It's at roughly the same ABV. It's also the same composition of casks. It's matured in first fill bourbon and first fill sherry casks, and then vatted together at cask strength. So the formula is the same. I really hope the whiskey is the same. I haven't tasted it as yet, so I'm really looking forward to that. I like these bottles, man. They're so cool and classy. Okay, this is what we have. This is no color added. This is non-chill filtered. This is cask strength. That's how you're supposed to drink whiskey. Nice. Caramel, fruit, cloves, ginger, candied ginger, spicy ginger. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate, nutmeg, cinnamon. All the flavors associated with happiness. Now some red berries. Hint of licorice. You get a singe on your nose hair though. It's 57.9%. So this is you're not messing around. Just this tiniest hint of like this mint leaf. I don't mind that note, I know some people who don't like that note, and I'm okay with it. Yeah, that minty thing is getting stronger. So happy that there are no off notes, because one of the things with like sherried whiskeys, even if they're a vatting, I wish I knew the proportion of first fill bourbon and sherry in this, but I think it could be 50-50, because the sherry's not that massive, but I could be wrong. If you know better, please let me know in the comments below. So I'm really happy when I don't find an off note in sherried whiskeys. I've off late become really sensitive to sulfur, and it really spoils my whiskey experience, but I'm just happy to say that there's nothing that's bitter or off, or that what's the word for it? That moist maltiness. I don't like that. It's not there. This is very crisp. This is quite sharp, which I really like. Good nose. I want to like this. I hope it's also as good on the palate. Wow. Very interesting. Very meaty whiskey. And I mean that not only from the delivery, it's definitely full bodied, but also taste as well. There's a certain lamb kebab funkiness to it, if you know what I mean. Lots of dried tobacco leaves, cigar box, quite earthy. There's definite peat in this, and it's not a warm, soft peat. It's quite a hard, dark peat. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm getting. Not in a bad way, in a completely, whoa, I wasn't expecting that way. Not as sweet as I thought it was going to be. It's quite savory, very, very dark chocolate, like more than 100% dark chocolate, if there is such a thing. The spices are woody. They're very cinnamon and oaky. Wow. This is very interesting. I mean, I like it, but I was very surprised when it hit the palate. I was expecting it to be a little more sweeter, as is the 100 proof Benromach 10, but this one isn't. Oh, yes. Very smoky, very burnt. Extremely burnt. Lots of nuts, lots of walnuts, lots of almonds, pecan nuts. The finish is medium to long. It's not drying, but it's not oily either. Somewhere in between. Quite warming. Very interesting. I like this, but I think there will be people who don't like this. Because these are certain flavor profiles that you have to, in my opinion, develop a taste for over the years. And they're all packed into this one little dram. So it'll be interesting, I know some people who'll be like, oh, what is this? But that's because they're more sort of used to the middle of the road, floral sweetie whiskeys. So when they come across something like this, they be like, yo, what just happened here? And I know those people, and I want them to try this whiskey, and I'm going to try and make them like this whiskey because I personally like it. It's not as balanced as I wanted it to be. I wish it was slightly sweeter. It's definitely more on the savory side, which makes me think this is like a 70-30 sherry to bourbon ratio, which is fine. I think if they split it down the middle, you would get more sweetness. You get a more vanilla, citrusy sweetness from the bourbon barrels. But still, having said that, this is quite a decent one. I like it. Should we add water? Should we? A few drops, see if it swims. I never know how much water is enough water, so I just drop it in. I wish I had the time to scientifically devise a formula that compensates for the amount of ABV in the glass and how much water I'm putting in it and the quantity and the volume and just get to the perfect percentage. But come on, man, you want to drink whiskey? Who has time for that science experiments? It's definitely opened up a little bit. I'm sure if we sit with this longer and longer, the water is going to have an effect on the whiskey itself. It's become a touch sweeter, but it's also become more tobacco-y. Interesting. Certainly more drinkable, easy drinkable. Remains the same profile. I thought it might become slightly sweeter, but it hasn't, so it sort of retains the same flavor profile, just sort of brings down the alcohol level, just and makes it a little more palatable. That's it. Drink it straight. That meatiness comes out a lot more with water. I think I can taste it more now with the water. Do I like that flavor profile? Yes and no. Not in excess, definitely not. At these levels, I'm happy to accept it. I know some friends of mine who really like that particular profile, and I'm gonna have them taste this as well. Yazid, I'm talking about you. So yeah, what do I think? I think yes, good whiskey. I also think not for everybody. People are gonna have to figure out whether they like this or not. They might have to revisit this after a few years of whiskey drinking and challenging their palate. But if you're already there, then yeah, get your hands on this. This is good stuff. Very unique, very different. Cool. So yeah, thank you for joining me for this whiskey review. I'm the Malt Activist. Until next time, peace.